is a brief Raw review. I'm just saying briefly what I thought of it. Look, only thing I'm going to say about this is what happened with Braun Strowman, The Shield. Look, let's make this really clear. When you want something really badly, it's good to be determined. It's good to have passion. It's good to have a drive. But if you're doing this to please other people, and you're doing it in a way that doesn't please them, and you think it's pleasing them, and on top of that, you think you're doing such an incredible job at it, it always goes wrong when you don't listen to those people that you're trying to please. Ergo, what's going on with Raw? Look, nobody got over in that situation. Braun Strowman didn't get over. Dean Ambrose didn't get over. Seth Rollins didn't get over. And this is what some people are not going to get. You're not going to get over Dolph Ziggler. That did not help him. It didn't definitely get over Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre did not get over, even though he spoke very well. And the worst people that didn't get over at all was Braun Strowman, who is a face. They're not going to boo him. But there is a caveat to that. They're not going to boo him now. There's going to be a point where the crowd will turn on him and not give a damn anymore, no matter if he's a face or a heel. And they're not going to cheer. They're going to boo because they don't like what's going on. Not that he's a heel. And when it comes to Roman Reigns, it's not the point if he's a good talent or not. As I've always took from what Paul Heyman said. You could say a lot about Paul Heyman. He's a dick. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know how to do finances. It doesn't matter. He is correct in one sense. If you know you have situations where there are weaknesses in either your product or your talent, you accentuate the positives of that talent or product and hide its negative. And right now, the WWE is doing none of that. They're accentuating all the negatives and they're not even caring about the positives of it. As far as they're concerned, they're doing perfectly fine. And the people that are booing just don't understand how great they're getting. That is how you piss off your fans. Let's be honest. That's how Star Wars pissed off everybody. About a majority of the people are pissed because of Star Wars and them not listening to their fans. This is what's going on with wrestling right now. The same problem. That's all I need to say for that. Now let's go to Smackdown Live, which was actually a very good show. It was. But I am going to state what needs to be stated. There were parts of it that were wrong. Wrong. And there were parts that were done very well. Opening of the show. Triple threat. No, wait. I will get to the part what happened with Booker T. But I had to mention that. But the triple threat of the Bar. Oh my gosh. The colognes by the Great Spirit. I hadn't seen the colognes in almost half a year. I think this is the first time I've seen them in 6 months. And the good brothers of Anderson and Gallows. The right team won. Yes. The Bar won. They were the right team to win. But here's the problem I have personally. The Bar should have won at SummerSlam. I know people can say you can't put a bad guy team against a bad guy team. As I said before, when it comes to the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Bars would automatically turn face for that match only. This wasn't about if two bad guys went up against each other. Two bad guy teams. This is about putting a team that is fresh for SmackDown Live. They needed the Bar to become champions because they've already had the New Day go through this. They already have now the Bludgeon Brothers. They had, I don't think the Good Brothers won the titles yet. I don't even remember if they did. If they did, so what? I don't care. No, they won them on Raw. Sorry. But you get my point. Everybody we already know has generally been getting those titles. We needed a fresh perspective. The Bar would have been that. Now, there's a good possibility at Hell in a Cell they may win finally, which was dumb in the first place, which should have done, excuse me, the WWE should have done it at SummerSlam. They should have done it there. It would have been better for them building storylines going forward. But you know the WWE, they always ask backwards. Now, I want to get this over with because it angers me. Twice in a row. She's in my face right now to keep me from being seen on screen. Now she's gone. Look, she's right there. Look, you guys know how I feel about Naomi. She's a great talent. She's improved herself just like many women on the roster that are willing to really work. They're not there to just show tits and ass. Naomi actually can wrestle now. She's a much better wrestler than she was 3 years ago. She is. Back then, she wasn't very good. And I always stated it. She's not that great, but she could be there even if she's not that good. Someone could also give her the title because the grandmother got that freaking title at the time when they were still divas. But because of evolution, because they want to give every woman a chance, guess what Naomi is? She is the Smackdown version of Ember Moon. Now, unlike Ember Moon, Naomi's lost twice. Ember Moon has lost a couple of times, but Naomi's now lost back-to-back compared to Ember Moon. This is a freaking joke. What? Why? Look, you guys know I don't hate Peyton Royce, and I don't hate Billie Kay. They're both managers that should be wrestling once in a while. They both can't wrestle very well at all. And I'm not being mean to them both. If either one of them saw this, I would say 3 things. 1, hello ladies. 2, I don't hate you. You guys talk very well. And you're not 100% bad wrestlers, but let's be honest, you should be wrestling once in a while. You're better as managers. And there's nothing wrong with being managers. Men can be freaking managers. They can be the best wrestlers on the planet. If you got the gift of gab, use it. That's what I would say to them. And I know other people will not agree with me. I'm just being objective. I'm an objective reviewer. They have ability. Give it to them. Let them be managers. But anyway, Naomi should... I almost popped myself in the eye. You see how angry I am? Naomi should not be treated like this. This is dumb. Let's move on. We now know Rusev next week with Aiden English. And Aiden English managed to get Paige to get that match. That was okay. It looks like someone might have decided to drop them breaking up. I'm not saying it's going to last. They could still break them up later. But I still believe that Rusev and Lana needs a mouthpiece. Now, if anybody wants to see Rusev and Lana alone, tell me why. Tell me why they don't need Aiden English. Tell me why when Aiden English introduces them, they're even more louder than when they do it by themselves. Tell me why. Tell me when that didn't happen. When Aiden English wasn't there before they met him. Tell me when. Now, next thing, Jeff Hardy. When it came to the Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton segment, Jeff was okay, but Randy was way better. He just was. It made me feel good to see they're still doing this, but then again, I say this, and I'm not forgetting what they said. But let's be honest here, where is Shinsuke Nakamura? Wasn't this supposed to have something to do with Shinsuke? Where is he? He's a freaking plot device for Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy. And that upsets me. No matter how great Randy Orton talked, and he pretty much said, I'm glad you acknowledged that I made you relevant again, but I'm going to still take your head off. I'm going to still destroy you. But Shinsuke Nakamura deserves better. He does. And here's another person. I should be leaving this for the end because it is titled for this video, but I'm not going to because you know what I'm going to talk about at the end. Look, when it comes to Daniel Bryan and Brie, let's be honest, this is the same thing that happened with John Cena and Nikki. They're just using The Miz again with Maurice. Instead of one set, it's the other set. It's a repeat. If anyone thinks this is new, it's not new. They did this a couple of years ago with John Cena and Nikki Bella. The only difference is, compared to John Cena, where people were not cheering as hard as they were, this is Daniel Bryan. They're going to cheer a lot more. And as I said in a comment in the Lex Man's video, there's a reason why Brie and Nikki are being seen. And it's simple. Brie and Nikki are being seen on Raw and SmackDown because they will become the new women's champions. It's not going to be the Boss, and it's not going to be Hugs. It's going to be the Bella Twins. Twin Magic is going to be the champions for that titles, I'm sorry. But this is what you get. This is what you got. Please kill me now. Oh my gosh. That's what I said in my comment. This is about to happen. Great. Please kill me now before Nightmare starts. When it comes to the Bella Twins being the tag champs. Ugh. But anyway. When this situation of Brie and Daniel Bryan came out, they spoke the way they did. You got Sierra almost comes out with, oh my goodness, Zelina Vega is gorgeous. And I'm finally getting her name. I don't know why I always say Selena instead of Zelina. But I'm sorry, I'm always confused. But anyway, they come out and I said, oh no. Oh no, this is going to be a squash job. This is going to be either a squash job or it's going to be a plot device. And it was. If anyone thought this was going to help Cien Almas, Andrade, Cien Almas was basically screwed here. Let's examine this for a second. He went up against AJ Styles. That got him nowhere. He went up against Rusev. It's gotten him nowhere. He went up against Sin Cara. No matter if he got hurt legitimately a lot. Even though he got hurt. Or if it was fake, it makes no difference. Sierra Almas is doing nothing except be enhancement matches. He's an enhancement jobber with a mouthpiece that is so beautiful that you don't want to just marry her. You want to put her on a pedestal and make sure that everyone knows that she's the most beautiful person on the planet. This is what you get. Sierra Almas is an afterthought. That's what he is. He's a plot device. Look what happened during that match. I'm not even going to explain the match because it's not necessary. Once The Miz came out and destroyed both Brie and Nikki with the help of Maurice, you got that. What happened to Sierra Almas? What happened to him? He would have tapped. He didn't gain anything. And that freaking pisses me off just as bad as Shinsuke Nakamura having nothing to do with the freaking US title around his waist. What a waste. Now let's move on. The AJ Styles segment, which was a good one. Once I saw Samoa Joe, I knew this was going to be a good segment. Once Samoa Joe called up Wendy, I'm going, oh, they're still going with this. And I know a lot of people are not fond of it, but I am still fond of this feud. It's still a very good feud. I am enjoying it. I'm loving it. I am. Because it's one of the few feuds that is made by two guys who's got history and they can make it work. Particularly Samoa Joe, who should be already a champion. Now, didn't say this earlier. King Booker. If you guys never knew, I made a series called Reality of Wrestling, which was Booker T's developmental promotion. And I've always said Reality of Wrestling has produced some really good people. And Bermuda is one of those people. She's one of those people that really has a great gift. She's really good. And knowing that they made this segment about the five-time, he's going by my face, five-time champion of WCW, Booker T. And they're trying to say we are not a five-time tag champs. We are glad to be in the same category as Booker T. They didn't say it, but that's where they were going with it. And then King Booker's music comes. He walks out. Shame Sharmell was not there. That would have been nice to see her, but it's understandable. If she's running Reality of Wrestling and he's still working on Raw or SmackDown for that matter. Well, actually he works on the panel. I take that back. He works on the pay-per-view panels most of the time. So he can't have his wife there every single pay-per-view. She's running Reality Wrestling. But in the end, he comes into the ring. One, he gives the title to the Kofi Kingston, to the Xavier Woods, but he doesn't give a title to Biggie, and Biggie gets angry and said, my lord, you have insulted me. He said, how did I insult you? You're treating me like a Saxon. And no, he said, you are nothing but a Saxon. He said, you did not just say that. Protestants versus Saxons. That, if you don't know what that is, look up the Crusades. Look up how basically during the time before or during or after the Crusades, when you got the British going against the French or the Spaniards who are Protestants or Catholic versus Saxons. Look at it for yourself. A little bit of history if you want to check it. But in the end, he didn't get to the point where he wanted to knock Biggie's head off. He basically anointed them into the 5-time club. And then they did some spinneroonies that I did enjoy. It was a nostalgia trip. It was. And it's meant to try and get you to be more interested in the Smackdown Live. Let's be honest. Comparing this to what was on Raw, and I know it didn't say anything about Trish Stratus dealing with Elias. But the only reason I'm not mentioning her is because she is connected to Evolution, which is still going to be potentially one of the worst pay-per-views the WWE is going to produce, and the women will not be respected because there's no build for them. You got maybe 2 months to a month and a half left, and there's no build for the women. Only important women, nothing for any of the other women, and it's bullshit. Anyway, let's get to the end of this review. If I'm forgetting anything, I'm sorry. This is now about Charlotte versus Carmella. Now, you guys know how I feel about Charlotte. When she's not with someone she's familiar with, she's goodness god awful. In this respect, I'm going to say this. I will give at least one small credit to Carmella. One. She tried different things. She did. And the problem was, she wasn't good at any of them. And Charlotte, who is notoriously known, and if no one believes me, again, I challenge you to tell me what match did she ever have that didn't include Becky, didn't include Bayley, and didn't include Sasha that didn't look good. And excluding Asuka, because she's a professional. She's very good at adapting. So you cannot include Asuka. Every other woman on the roster, tell me one match she had other than those 3 women, excluding Asuka, that was good. Because she has not had one clearly good match. Not one. But I have to say this, and I do admit this. Charlotte tried really hard to make this match look good. She did. And when it came to Carmella, she made it look like crap. And then with Charlotte, who is notorious not good with women she's not familiar with, even though she's gone up against Carmella multiple times, she could not adapt to her. So she looked even worse and made the match even more garbagey than it's supposed to be. In the end, Carmella tapped, and the screaming began for the Becky Lynch. She came out and beat the living crap out of Charlotte. And I gotta say this, I may even do a video on Becky. Maybe after this I'll do a video on Becky. Let's be honest. What they're doing with Becky is dumb. They should never turn to heel. She is never going to be generally booed. But like Braun Strowman, right now, she's never going to be booed. But if they piss the crowd off enough with her, she will be booed, not because she's a great heel, but because they're sick of the situation with her. The crowd can turn very quickly when the time comes. And in this situation, they loved her. Her speech afterward, she's coming for that freaking title, you bitch. Drops the mic, throws the title on the floor and walks away. Maybe I will use this instead of Sierra Almos. I think this is better than Sierra Almos. She walked with pride. Yeah, there you go. There's the title. She walked with pride because Becky Lynch is the best face they have on SmackDown. In fact, I think she's the best face on both brands. And you can't really say that about Ronda Rousey. Because, yes, she is a face. but she's not the most beloved face. She's a liked face, but she's not Becky. Becky is the most loved face on both brands. She just is. And in this case, they're not going to get her to get over as a heel. It's just not going to work. They're going to keep cheering her and cheering her and cheering her until the WWE does something really stupid with her. And then they'll boo her the way they want. But then wherever they do, they're going to boo not because she's bad, but because they get sick of her being treated the way she is. This is my point of view. Please tell me below. Have a good day, have a good night, and watch for the Becky Lynch video. I think I'm actually going to make it after this. Peace.